What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And tonight we need to talk about Bitcoin and the market as a whole. One question on my mind, this is the $1 million question. Is the correction over, or do we have another leg incoming? Now, I can't definitively tell you that I know the answer to that, but we need to discuss it. And of course, this is not financial advice. Anything I say or do in this video could cause you to lose everything you own and become a stinking homeless bum living out of a trash can and subsiding on somebody's used pizza crusts. It can happen. Okay, so here is the Bitcoin chart. And since the last video, we had this big wick that occurred. This is on the one-day chart. All right. And we snapped back up to where we started. Now, the interesting thing is this. I always get the people who come on and say, technical analysis doesn't work. And they think everything is just, sheer luck. But you can answer this question to me. The technical analysis doesn't work. Why did we have this wick and this wick that perfectly came down to this trend line, the purple line that I drew like over a month ago? Who can explain that? Who can explain that? I don't think you can. And so what we're doing in technical analysis, we're tracking the behavior of human beings, emotional behavior. So human beings, the way we think, the way nature plays out, certain crazy sequences and patterns pop up because of the way that we're programmed in our emotional thinking that causes certain things to be predictable. And that manifests itself in the mathematical realm as things like the Fibonacci sequence or the golden ratio. So we'll argue about whether or not technical analysis works in another video. Case in point, I said on XEN when it was going up to 5 cents, I said, this thing is going to correct. And worst case scenario is 1.9 cents. And then someone posted, and you can see it in the pinned comment of the last XEN video. They said, XEN will not ever go below 2 cents. And I was like, are you sure about that? Yes, I'll say it again. XEN will never go below 2 cents. So then what happened last night? During the flash crash, XEN hit 1.8 cents. So there you have it. And that lined up exactly with where I said the worst case scenario could be on the chart. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but when they do happen, it lines up with the TA. So anyway, back to what I was saying. During the flash crash, we went all the way down to 90,000. And what did I say in the last Bitcoin video? That if we had a correction, the highest probability was what? 90,000. So we got it. But then, can you really call this a correction? This was more like a flash crash. Not even really a crash. It was more like a flash dash. It dashes down here to 90 and then goes straight back up. It's not a real correction. And so I'm seeing indications that that was just a hint at a possible first leg down, which might not happen. I mean, I don't know, but I tell you one thing, I'm prepared for it because I'm going to show you some evidence all throughout other charts that there's another leg down coming. And like I said, I could be dead wrong. I'm not saying that I could, I'm not 100%. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I go by the indications that give me the highest probabilities for the gambles that I make. That's how it works. I teach that in the private group. Everybody in the private group knows that full well. Okay, so if we jump to the 1 week chart, we see something. What do we see? First of all, we got this descending green line that I thought we were going to reject right here and have the capitulation, and it didn't happen there. But then 2 weeks later, we got the capitulation, so I was kind of right, but not right. But it did happen 2 weeks after that. And so we wick all the way down to the purple line and snap right back up. Are we going to return to the descending green line until we get to this point where then we resume and start the bull market, the bull run rather? Or could it be that we slump all the way down to this golden line? Or could we go to the blue descending line? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. That's a parallel line after this wedge increasing, widening flag formation that broke to the upside. So I'm thinking there's a good chance we come back to the green line. That's best case scenario. Next case is the purple line, all the way back down to the purple. And worst case is the golden line at about 84,000. And then if that fails, this line here, which would be the 50 EMA, by the time this line kind of moves up like this, if we were to crash down to the 50 EMA, by the time it gets there, it probably would be around a price of like 78, 79. And I've heard people, other TA people, saying that it is possible we could dip down to 79. So it's not all in my head. I listen to some of the big folks like Benjamin Cohen, who just speaks from a mathematical standpoint and technical analysis. There's no frill, no bull. He tells you exactly like it is, and he's not trying to make a name for himself for predicting what happens in the market. So that's okay. I forgot to tell you the evidence here on the 1 week chart. It's right here. What's that stochastic doing? Do you see that? The blue line is touching on the orange line right there. Is that going to play out and cross over and dip down for our final correction before we get the bull run? What else do you see on this chart? I'll let you guess. I'll tell you in 3, 2, 1. Did you guess that the other indication was the impending crossover of the oscillators on the MACD? Then you guessed right. It's coming. Oops, dang it. Give me an arrow. So it's right there. They're almost touching. And then what's the third indication? That we got another leg down coming. This one's obvious. Can you guess it? Well, if you guessed the MACD histogram about to cross the zero line, you guessed right. So we had solid green here, which says we're moving up higher than the zero line. We have light green here, which says we're moving back down towards the zero line. Now, guess where we are right now? We're at the zero line. So we could be ready to print red candles, red bars, but sometimes, right when you think it's going to go downstairs and print red bars, what did it do here? It started up for another hump. So we got a 2-hump camel. We had an impending crossover here. It glanced off. Then it crossed over, a definitive crossover. And after that point, we had that whole consolidation move, the downward expanding wedge pattern all the way here to the breakout point. So let's wait and see if this crosses over or if it glances off and moves up. We don't know yet. We have to wait and see. Now, I'll show you the other evidence that I'm seeing all across the charts. Okay, let's start with Proton. I'm very upset with you, Proton, because I was going to buy the bag back. I sold it 0.006, and it wicked all the way down to 0.0019. Look at that. So it's up 300%. That is just insane. Let's get the exact percentage. From the bottom of the wick, it came back up in its rebound, and it went as high as, okay, it's 219%. So you would have like tripled your bag, coming in at 0.002 and then maybe jumping out again at 0.005657. Oh, that would have been nice. However, we do have this red. We have a red candle forming, but on this one, the stochastic, there is a bullish crossover on the 1-day chart. But then when we reel it back and we look at the 4-hour, what do you see there? Stochastic is about to peak and cross over. What do you see here? You see a red candle going down. Now, you do have green here, but is this going to start to come back down? So this is a bearish indication and a bearish indication. And what do I always tell you? Look at the stochastic peaks and what the corresponding price is. At this stochastic peak, we had this corresponding price. And then when the stochastic went to the bottom, here was that bottom price. Now, if we flip, look at this. It made it all the way back up here. But guess what? Price did not make it back to the previous high point. Right now, we are below the previous high point, right? So it looks like this could be a lower high. and that means bearish trend. So this might roll over here. Well, what does it say on the 1 hour? Ooh, that's rolled over. Now we got to wait and see. Will it hold? Or is it going to give way? All right, we already have a possible lower high because this point here is at 0.005. And the previous stochastic peak back here was at 0.0056. But we are above this one and we're above this one. But we need to take out this one back here from January. Let's see, that was just 2 or 3 days ago. Okay, so in other words, we can't trust that we took out these two peaks here. We're still in a downtrend. All right, so let's move it on along and look at some memes. Let's look at the 4-hour chart for Miro. And look at this. Stochastic peaks, all corresponding to lower highs. And now here the stochastic's coming up again, and we got a red candle forming. Crank it down to the 1 hour. Roll over. Okay? Let's take a look at Turbo. That's a popular one. So I bought at this bottom here, and I'm up. I might sell this now because I'm at about let's see, what percent. And the people in the private group were all privy to this. I told them as I was doing it. So I'm up. Oh, I need to sell this. I'm up 35%. I'm going to sell it. So look at the stochastic about to curl over and roll over. And if it does, this is a lower high all the way. The only good thing is the histogram bars have made it all the way back to the 0 line with a possible bullish cross here. But there's no guarantee that that's going to hold. That might not hold. So what does the 1 hour say? Ooh, that's ugly. On the 1 hour, stochastic has already rolled over. It went up through the overbought zone and rolled over with a lower high. And we bounced our head off of the 50 EMA. That's another big clue. Look at this. We hit our head on the 50 EMA here. We come up, we got a red candle. We're not even at the 50 EMA. So the 1 hour is telling me sell. Let's look at a couple of more, and then we're going to quit because this is enough proof. Looking at XEN. So XEN hits the bottom right there. That price was about 0.179, actually. Yeah. So it did the thing that the people said it would never, ever do again. Never. So it bumps all the way back up. Stochastic is almost peaked out here, but look at the price. It's about to make a lower high because we're at 3.1. It's got to push up and take these other ones out, or this confirms the downtrend. Look, high point, lower high, lower high. This will be the third lower high. What does it look like on the 1 hour? Looks pretty good, actually. We had a rollover, but then it turned over again, and it's trying to creep up. But will it hit its head on the point of control price and fully cycle down? We'll see. We'll see. So that one's a little tougher to read. Swift coin. Swift hit the bottom, came up, and now we got a fat red candle. And look at the stochastic about to curl over and cross. Let's look at the 1 hour. Roll over on the 1 hour. So I think we're looking at another leg down, guys. I might go ahead and sell these things that I picked up. And they're all saying the same thing on the 1 hour. Look at DGen. Roll over right there. Is this easy to understand? Let me know in the comments. Now, if you want to know when I'm buying and selling all of the swing trade moves that I do, and if you want to know everything on the hit list and the stuff I'm telling people that's going to be probably the greatest chance of 150 to 200x, you can join the private group, or you can just stay here and ride for free. Yeah, I don't mind. You can just ride the bandwagon and get all the free advice you want. I'm happy to give it. And for 50 USDT per month, you can come in the private group. And the reason why I have that, guys, I tried to have a research group and have people do work, and it was used and abused. People weren't following the process. There was off-topic conversation. And I'm like, I don't have time. And so, I'm paying $300 to $400 a month for subscriptions to various services and consulting that provides value to me. And so there's 12 people in the group now that are paying 50 USDT because they find value in what I do. And they'll tell you, you can ask them in the comments, ask any one of the people in the private group, is it worth it? Let them tell you. You are buying my research. And by the way, everybody who has paid in January, since it was so late, you're good all the way through the end of February. That's right. Yay! You don't have to pay up again until the end of February. So everybody else, you need to come in if you want the goods. Come on and get it. You definitely need to like and subscribe and tick that notification bell so you will know when I post a video update, because man, oh man, it's going to get crazy. And I'll let you know if I think that the second leg of the correction is canceled. If that doesn't happen, you'll be the first to know. And if we do have that second leg, I'll keep you posted. And we got plenty of stuff to cover. So that's all I've got for this one. This is Carlton, and I am out.